Thank you.
Lee,
Present.
Catherine, absent. Igor,
Present.
Christina,
Present.
Scott, and Margaret,
Present.
and Jerry.
Present.
And Bonnie is absent.
And Bonnie's absent, sorry.
Okay, and we have an update regarding our member Christina Payne, who has been absent for several sessions. She's here present with us today.
Yeah, I'm back.
Wonderful.
And you'll be staying then?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Welcome back. It's good to have you with us again. So we'll jump right into the public hearing. Steve, the floor is yours.
All right, let me just pass out some plans. Let's see here. So here. Yeah. Yep. All right, so, so you can see here too. Okay. Okay, so good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Tower. I'm a land surveyor at Saborn and Tower Surveying here in Woodstock. And I'm here before you tonight representing Grandview Incorporated and the Avery Caulder Properties LLC. The reason for that is because we're here to do a very simple lot line adjustment between two properties here in Woodstock, one being tax lot 10836 owned by Grandview Incorporated, and the other one being tax lot 10733 owned by Avery Caulder Properties LLC. The purpose of the adjustment is to add on this hatched area here shown as adjustment parcel 1. It's 0.3 of an acre in size, this piece here, okay? And the idea is to add it onto this existing lot here. This lot here was created by subdivision. We call it Lot F because we did a subdivision back in 2007 for Grandview where we created 6 lots then. And this was the last one. It was just Lot F. There were a bunch of them over here, A, B, C, D, and E. So again, what we're doing is we just want to add on this parcel here and make Lot F a little bigger. So Lot F will go from 1.89 acres to 2.19 acres in size. Okay. And the GV Inc. property, which is all the land that Grandview Incorporated still owns in the Grandview subdivision, will get a little smaller. So that'll go from 110.85 acres to 110.55 acres, 3/10 smaller. Okay. Now, if you look at this corner view here, I have an overview plan showing what's going on. It's kind of hard to see because it's a big area. But all of this scale pattern, that's GV Inc.'s remaining land, okay? And there's 110 acres there. This little piece, right there, is adjustment parcel A, okay? So this is all Grandview's land, all this scale piece. You can see it goes in between all the lots. The road beds and everything, those are all in that Grandview land. Yeah. Okay.
And these are the tax map numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, those are the tax map
Okay.
numbers. Yep.
And those don't need to be contiguous. I guess they are contiguous down here. Okay.
Yeah, so this Grandview lot is, believe it or not, it is contiguous.
All right. No, that's what I was looking. I'm like,
And
wait a
it's
minute.
one big lot.
Okay.
And that's why it's a pain that every
Yeah.
time we do this, it's kind of confusing. 'Cause,
All right.
You know, there's a lot of,
Thank you.
the land goes all over the place up there.
But it's not leaving anything here that would be unusable.
Well, I mean, so what you don't see here is there's a road here.
Yeah.
And another road here, okay? So, you know, there will be some Grandview land on either side of those roads. That's, you know, it's just gonna be part of their holdings that's left.
Right.
I don't know if they could ever do another lot. I would say never, but I don't think they could do another lot in there, in that area. just because I don't think there's enough land with the roads the way they are. Okay. So, anybody have any questions? This is it. It's pretty straightforward.
That's it.
Simple, just making the lot a little bit bigger.
Do any of the board members have questions?
No.
Do any of the members of the public, abutters here present, have questions about the adjustment?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, good evening. I am at 10 Pleasant Heights Drive, so I'm in a butter in the Grandview development. I wanted to know if you had any insight into the motivation by the Grandview Corporation to increase the lot size from approximately 1 to 2 acres.
Oh, you're asking me. Well, one of the reasons why we're looking at doing this is because originally we had contemplated when they built on this lot, the septic system would have to be built up above it. There would be a pump system. And by adding this land here, we could put the septic system down lower, so it wouldn't be a pump septic system. So that's the reason behind it, really, just for a septic system places.
Okay, so it's merely to expand out to put septic. Okay. And there's a house there right now at 10 Grandview, is that right? Or is it 12? 12 Grandview, sorry.
12 Grandview. I'm not sure which one 12 Grandview is. Is that
12 Grandview is the whole interspersed lot. By the way, I'm Dave Anderson. I'm president of the Grandview Association. Just here to listen. I know all those lots very well.
Yeah. So where was 12 again?
Come point it out.
It's Grandview Association's address they have
Oh.
for that whole interspersed what I
Oh,
call lot
okay. So
36.
yeah. So no. So there's no house on 12.
No. It's
No.
all
So,
the interspersed lands.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, so this is all kind of hypothetical that the house goes into that lot. The idea is that there will be land available to put in a septic system there.
Yeah, on the adjustment area. Yeah, that's why we're making it a lot bigger. They don't have to put it there, but it would be nice to put it there. It makes more sense.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Do any others of the abutters have questions?
Yes, I do have a question. Is this off of, are they building to the, I guess, to the south? I'm sorry, Greg Oberhauser. Grandview Drive, is the proposed house going to go to the north, or the, as you're driving in, is it going to go to the left or to the right of that road?
It's going to the left as you're driving in Grandview Drive. That's where the lot is. On the left side of the road, uphill.
We don't have
Hi,
the
this
privilege
is
of
Dave
seeing your plans.
Anderson. I'm your neighbor there in Grandview. So if you go to Upper Grandview, you take the first left, and then you take that first left and it switchbacks up the hill. It's almost right there across from John McKay's house, the first house on the right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So the lot goes up that steep hill. That's the one they're expanding slightly.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the abutters? Hearing none, can I hear a motion from any of the board members?
I'll make the motion to approve the lot line adjustment.
I'll second it.
Lee,
Yes.
Igor,
Yes.
Christina,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Margaret.
Yes. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Well, I have a Mylar here and 6 copies of the plan.
Great.
How is that 20?
I have a big plotter that can Thank you. You can have it too. There's $600. Yeah,
You don't draw those by hand?
no, not anymore. That's how they used to do it, but
I know, I went to school for that.
drafting? Yeah, not anymore.
I used to draft by hand. Standard German pens were the best.
Thank you.
Four more months till that
So you got 6 of them.
I would be out of business. Good job. How nice we are. That's all what you want.
I think we're all square.
Yes, and I have the chip fee ready to go.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank
You did a great
you.
job.
You make it easy.
Oh,
Thank you.
have a good night, everybody.
Watch out for bicycles. Chainsaws.
Oh, man. Yep,
Okay,
Thanks, Steve.
thank you. Thank you.
moving right
Thank
along.
you for that.
We have a set of minutes from our last meeting on April 15th. Have all of you had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Does anyone have any questions or changes or?
Nope.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
I make motions to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Minutes are approved. Great. Okay. At 4:00 today, there was a meeting of the Excavation Subcommittee, Excavation Checklist Subcommittee. And Lee, would you like to fill us in?
I think you could probably do a better job.
I think you can do a fine job.
So one of the things that we're looking at is to better define what our scope of authority is, and to make it as simple as possible for the excavation checklist. So when we walk in, we have a piece of paper that we can hand to the pit operator, say, this is what we're doing, this is what our authority is, and yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, thank you, have a nice day. So there's no, we don't miss anything, but there's no overstepping of our authority as outlined in 155. That's it. And I think we did a remarkable job of coming up with a format to get there. We don't have anything much beyond the idea stage of how we're going to set it up. The town of Sanborn has a nice form. However, we're not going to be following their verbiage because they have zoning and this and that. But plus a couple of other things that we can put in, and I'm gonna present that we should have another 4 o'clock meeting prior to our next planning board meeting. I don't remember the date of that.
June.
Yeah, in June, so that we can solidify a form. Margaret's got some homework, I have some homework, we'll put it together. You're sending some stuff to us, and that way we can better be able to talk about specifics for it.
June 10th.
Yep, and once we have that, then I think it's important for us to talk to the owners of the pits in Woodstock, get their input on it, and then at a following meeting to that, get the general input from the public. And so we're all on the same page. I think that's probably the fairest thing. I think next month might be too early because we're still gonna be scrapping around.
Sure.
But certainly, I think before, in my guess, the July meeting would be nice for us to be able to invite the pit owners from the town of Woodstock. That's kind of what I would like to see us aim for. So that's the update. I don't think, is that?
That's fair. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see as well, so that there are no surprises
Yeah.
for you when we come to see your pit in September.
That's perfect. And again, it's in my mind, the idea is to keep the scope very well defined, because if we don't have it defined, then we get foggy on the outskirts. And I like to have things in boxes. It's easier for all of us.
Great. Thank you. There was also at the beginning of May, there was a meeting of the Master Plan Subcommittee, which technically was not a Master Plan Subcommittee meeting. It was really a meeting, an inaugural meeting of the Woodstock, I guess it's the Downtown Business Association, although I don't know if that's what they're calling themselves yet.
It's the downtown business owners, right?
Yeah. It was a number of owners of businesses in the downtown North Woodstock area that met together. And I was not present at that meeting, so I'm retelling from what I learned from Bonnie. Were you present?
No.
No, okay. So
I was present, but it was a nice meeting. It turned out to be more of a meeting for some business owners to get together and maybe come up with some ways that we could all work together. So I think that's where it was, and we've got a couple little projects that we're working on as we go along. So I'll keep you up to date.
great, that's a perfect summary. Thank you very much, Scott. Okay, so we can move forward to other business then. Next up is an update on the town's response to the Thornton ZBA. Bonnie met with the select board, and again, I'm gonna lob this one into Scott's court because what we felt was that it's not the planning board's purview to respond to this, but rather the select board.
I think what we talked about it for a long time, and I think the general consensus was we don't want to go against the parking lot because it solves the problem of people parking, and it'll give them a place to park properly. It'll be Thornton's responsibility to police it and take care of it. But I think we're also in the working phases of coming up with a plan on how to work with the climbing groups or Miriam Woods as well. There's other places for them to climb and do up there besides Miriam Woods. So it's not just for Miriam Woods. So, I mean, we weren't opposed to it. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're going to send a letter saying, but we don't want any responsibility for it. I think it's the bottom line. So.
Thank you. Okay, there was quite a bit of correspondence received by the planning board. Most of this is for our information. There's a planning board workshop that's coming up on June 5th on workings of the planning board. This is from 11:30 to 1 o'clock on June 5th, and a notice was sent to all of you by email. If you didn't receive that and you need me to send it to you again, let me know and I can make sure you get that by email. Also on May 11th, we received follow-up information from Office of Planning and Development with all of the recordings from those sessions. So if you were not able to attend the workshop, you can review it online and
That was a long day.
yeah, it was. And I can get you access to those recordings if you missed any of that. We received a dredge and fill application from New Hampshire Department of Transportation for the Green Bridge. And I know Conservation has also received that and they're reviewing it. Also for information, 17 Lost River Road Branch and Elizabeth Lane, there's a right-of-way encroachment and survey plan that we received as notification, and a land survey plan for 10 Oaks Street. And on May 7th, we received a blasting notice from Caulder's for a May 9th blasting. And I've not heard anything further of that, so I'm assuming that it went forward without incident.
Blasting all done?
No, they blasted oversized rocks, so.
They canceled again?
What?
They canceled again, or?
No, they blasted oversized boulders is all they blasted last
Oh,
time.
okay.
So we're in there crushing right now, and after the crushing is done, hopefully in the fall we'll blast again.
Good.
Does anyone else from the planning board have any business to bring forward?
The Green Bridge,
Mm-hmm.
what's taking so long with that? I mean, President Biden made a special trip here at the beginning of his administration to say, look at what we're doing. Haven't done nothing.
The wheels of government turn slowly.
I know I used to work with the government.
It's moving forward. That's as much as I can tell you.
I think the plans are all set. It's a historic bridge. There's all kinds of baloney going on. But I thought they were going to start this summer, but it looks like it might be next spring. So they have the plans all done. Everything's ready to go, I guess. But it's a good question why it takes so long, I think.
Motion to adjourn.
We do need to give the public a chance if there's anything else that anyone on the Zoom would like to bring forward or anyone else in the room would like to speak. Yes.
I just want to express so much gratitude to everybody for the time that you put into the thought about the lot. And I was feeling like I got a little emotional at the last meeting, and, you know, thank you for your understanding of those emotions and for the time that you took to look into this. And really grateful that you're giving it the opportunity to at least be considered. We will do our very best to take care of it and have it bring about good things if it happens.
You made a nice presentation.
Thank you.
A nice presentation.
Yeah, there's a lot of expertise in this room, so anyway, I was grateful for the questions. They provoked some really good discussion, I think, among our group and got us thinking ahead about some pieces. Just wanted to say thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's clear that you care a lot.
Yeah, and caring's important, but effectiveness. You know, great intention is one thing, but to have the actual ability to bring about a positive thing, like, intention is only half of it.
Right.
Maybe not even that much. You just gotta stand up to, you know, the test of being used.
And that's why we work together.
I know, agreed. Yeah, I appreciate it very much. And I know there are a lot of people who are going to be really happy to hear this news. Thank you for thinking a little bit creatively with us. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Anything else from members of the public?
Well, now I can do it. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone.
That was so fast.
Have a wonderful evening.
I had a sitter until 7 for this one.